Some time ago, I wrote a short book featuring the prints of colour woodcut artist Arthur Rigden Read, who produced some beautiful images between the wars. His prints were made in the same way as Hokusai and other Japanese masters, that's to say by transferring pigments to paper via carved blocks of wood. Most British artists who mastered this demanding method produced landscapes and still lifes, as indeed did Arthur Rigden Read. But what was unusual about Arthur was that he was among the very few colour woodcut artists who also did portraits, often of itinerant folk struggling to make a living in the 1920s and 30s. Arthur lived for much of his life at Winchelsea in East Sussex, from where he observed a cast of characters passing by or calling at his door. They were often travelling women selling their wares, whether it was clothes pegs or kettle holders designed to protect hands from burns. Just look at her finger. Arthur had a younger brother called Frank, who was a photographer. Like Arthur, Frank was also fascinated by rural folk. The work of both the brothers transports us back to a simpler way of life on the open, largely car-free road. Perhaps the brothers sometimes used the same models. They may have been poor, but many looked tough, determined and proud. One of my favourite of Arthur's images is called The Chairmenders. A child sleeps in a cart as his mother and two companions wear out shoe leather to scratch a living across rural Sussex. So taken was he by this image that, as well as a woodcut, Arthur captured the same group in pastel under a dramatic sky.